And we're live. What's up, everybody? Appreciate all you guys being here. Appreciate all y'all tuning into the stream once again. We got a pretty exciting slate tonight. Definitely much more excited for this one than I was for last night's slate. Last night I played very light. I didn't play much volume at all. My lineups weren't great last night, but it didn't impact me too much just because on short slates like yesterday, two gamers, I just don't know. I've never done well on two-game slates, so I just try and play light. Obviously, an 11 gamer tonight. This is much more exciting. We've got a lot of news that came out yesterday that's definitely impactful. The pricing's been adjusted, but there's some clear plays today for sure with Ben Simmons out, Joel Embiid out. There's definitely some clear plays from the Sixers that we'll talk about. But yeah, man, I appreciate all you guys being here. Thanks as always for tuning in. Patrick, Victor, T-Bone. What's up, guys? Michael, Andrew, JB. Let's get this cheddar. Hey, let's get it, JB. Let's get it, my man. What's up, Noah? What's up, Patrick? Appreciate you being here, man. T-Bone, what's up, man? What's up, Noah? What is up with Yahoo soft prices between that and great value points galore? Yeah. I don't know what Yahoo's doing today. Like they've done this before in the past. They used to have like big tournaments. They'd run like a big tournament every now and then. It was they would usually do it on like Friday nights. They would run a big tournament and then they would make the pricing super super soft. I don't know if that's gonna attract new users. I don't know what their plan is there, but yeah, they've done this before where they just make everyone super super cheap, and it's like you can just play whoever you want. So if you play on Yahoo tonight, I mean it's basically like a pick'em. You can just literally play whoever you want. The pricing's so bad over there. It's just everyone's so cheap. Is Devin Booker out? He's questionable, Victor. He's questionable. What's good, Noah? Glad to be back to a real slate. For sure, Bryce. For sure, man. I'm excited for this one. Like I said, I didn't play much volume last night. I played very light. I'm gonna be back to my normal volume tonight. Hey Noah, thanks for the live. Sure thing, Corey. Thanks for being here, man. What's good, Noah? Let's get this quad. Hey, let's get it, JM. Let's get it, man. Glad to have NBA back. Oh yeah, for sure, Robert. For sure. I enjoyed the first couple of days of the All-Star break, but I'm glad that NBA's back. Once we got to Monday and Tuesday, I just started to get really bored. Like I needed some basketball, so it feels good to be back for sure. Util spot Howard or Shake. If Dwight Howard starts, I'd probably play him there, but both those guys are great plays tonight. I mean, Philly, you're obviously going to be looking to target the Sixers on this slate. I mean, in terms of like top plays, there's a ton of top plays from the Sixers, and Howard, Shake Milton, I think are both really good options. But we got to see who starts. I mean, Doc Rivers has done some weird stuff in the past whenever like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid have been out. He started Mike Scott at center last time. He could start, we just don't know who's going to start for the Sixers. So you got to keep an eye on that. That's going to definitely impact a good amount. I'd assume Dwight Howard starts for Embiid, and I would assume that probably Court Moss starts for Ben Simmons, and then they slide Seth Curry to point guard. But they could do a lot of things. They could start Shake Milton. They could start Maxey. They could start like Tybal. I mean, there's so many things they could do. You almost won me $6,600, but I started the stupid San Antonio center who got no points, won like $75 though. You saying you played LaMarcus Aldridge? I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge got ruled out like an hour. I don't want to say not an hour, but like 30 minutes before lock. I mean, that sucks if you played him, but you had some time to swap off. If you played Trey Lyles, then yeah, I understand. I mean, Trey Lyles, I said it in the stream yesterday. If Trey Lyles was not starting, I wasn't going to play him. There was a legit chance he wouldn't even be in the rotation if he wasn't starting, and he barely played. I don't even know how many minutes he played. Oh, Trey Lyles, yeah. I mean, once it was announced he wasn't starting, there was no certainty in his minutes, especially with Rudy Gay back. Like, there was a good chance Trey Lyles wasn't even going to play because Rudy Gay is ahead of Trey Lyles in the rotation. Like, Rudy Gay is their backup power forward, not Trey Lyles. Loving the Raptors and Sixers tonight. Yeah, those are definitely, in my opinion, like two of the teams to really focus on. I'm not going to be playing like 4 Raptors and 4 Sixers or anything, but I think, 2 or 3 Sixers, 1 or 2 Raptors, totally fine with that. What's the top cheapy spin? I don't know what you mean, Rico. Like, spend up option? I mean, if I'm spending up, I think like Harden and Giannis are the 2 guys I like most at the top. The 2 guys I'd probably go to. You can also go over some good picks on Yahoo today because the pricing's so different from DK. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. I mean, Bryce, just to be honest with you, literally everyone's too cheap on Yahoo. So, I could say, oh, James Harden, he's $49, he's too cheap on Yahoo, but so is everyone else. They basically price down everybody. So everyone's too cheap over there. But yeah, there's definitely some clear plays on Yahoo, in my opinion, that we will discuss. Hit the like button, y'all. 88 watching. Get hitting the like. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. I appreciate all y'all tuning in, as always, man. Appreciate y'all being here. How many Sixers are we playing in cash? Is 4 okay? I'm pretty sure my dummy lineup had 4 Sixers in it, if I'm not mistaken. The lineup I built out before the stream. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I had 4 Sixers, so I'm fine with that for right now. 3 to 4 feels just fine. 5 is probably too many, but 3 to 4 Sixers, I'm totally fine with that. LaMelo Ball and Stanley Johnson, or Draymond and Seth Curry? Give me Draymond and Seth Curry. Milton or Curry? Yeah, that's a super tough one. I think, you can honestly play both. If Seth Curry's starting, I think I assume Seth Curry starts, but if Milton winds up starting, I think I'd rather play Milton because he's a more productive player. But if Milton comes off the bench, that's a small downgrade for him, not much though. I think both are great plays. I'd probably take Seth Curry though if I can only play one. Honestly though, there's a good chance I play both Curry and Milton. Dwight Howard or Steven Adams? If Dwight Howard's starting, give me Dwight Howard. Howard is a trap. I mean, if he's starting, I don't think he's a trap. If he comes off the bench, then it could get a bit risky. But if he's starting, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to be playing Dwight Howard if he is announced as a starter. I know he got priced up, but Dwight Howard, when he gets minutes, he can be really productive. If he plays like 28 minutes, I mean, you could easily get a double-double, 34, 35 DK points from Howard is totally, possible, especially against the Bulls. Really, really good matchup. For cash, Giannis or Harden? I'd prefer Harden, but I think, both are cash viable, JP. But I think I'd take Harden if I only could go with one. Lowry and Norman a must. PG's killing, or point guards are killing Atlanta. I mean, I like both Lowry and Norman. I don't think they're must plays or anything, but yeah, Lowry and Powell are two of the top guys to look to from Toronto. And overall, I mean, they're 2 of the better plays on the slate, in my opinion. I think you could play both. You could play one of the two. You could play neither, but it's very likely that I'm going to have at least one of those 2 guys in both my DK and Yahoo lineup tonight. Mike Scott will outscore Howard tonight. I mean, I don't see that happening. Maybe if Mike Scott starts, then yeah, he could. But if Howard's starting, I mean, Howard's, in my opinion, a really good play. Lowry's a lock. I mean, if you play Yahoo, Lowry's probably one of the cheapest. Like, everyone's too cheap on Yahoo, but Lowry overall might be the top play in terms of too cheap. Like, he's $28. Like, there is no reason for Kyle Lowry, with Van Vliet and Siakam to be out, for him to be $28 against Atlanta. I mean, he was $36 last slate. I know everyone got priced down, but Lowry got priced down just too much. He's one of the clear plays on Yahoo today. And even on DK, I like Kyle Lowry a lot. Who would you bring it back from the Sixers game, having 4 Sixers already? If I was going to play anyone on the Bulls, it would be Zach LaVine. I'm not probably going to play anyone on the Bulls outside of LaVine, but yeah, I think LaVine's definitely in play. Rank Sixers, please. I know we don't know the starting lineup. So, Jason, just assuming that they start Dwight Howard and they start like Court Moss or something, then I would probably go Tobias Harris number 1, Dwight Howard number 2, Seth Curry 3, Shake Milton 4, but those 2 are just so close. If Milton starts, I'd put him over Curry, but definitely those 4. Harris, Howard, if he's starting, Milton, Curry, those are clearly the top 4 from the Sixers. And then you could maybe go to a guy like Court Moss if he starts. But yeah, we got to see who starts. That's big. I mean, they could start Tony Bradley. Like, we just don't know what's going to happen. But the starting lineup's going to definitely impact a good amount. For now, though, just assuming Howard starting and Court Moss or somebody starting, not Milton, then those would be like my top 4. If Milton starts, he'd probably get boosted up, though, ahead of Curry. Probably ahead of Howard, too. Howard hasn't played more than 18 minutes in any game, regardless of Embiid out or not. I'm pretty sure last time Embiid was out, David, Howard played like 26 minutes. I can pull that up, but I'm pretty sure when they played Utah, it was a game that Embiid was out. But Ben Simmons went nuclear. It was this game. At Utah on the 15th, Joel Embiid was out that game, and they started Mike Scott at center, but Dwight Howard still played 26 minutes off the bench. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm about 99% certain that Joel Embiid was out that game on February 15th. and Dwight Howard played 26 minutes. If Dwight Howard starts, I think we get like 26, 28 minutes from him, maybe even close to 30 or over 30. Have you ever taken down a big or a good price starting 4 players on the same team on a big slate? I mean, you can definitely do it, Suave. Like, there's been times before where like 3 or 4 guys have been in the winning lineup on the same team. You know, it's all slate dependent, but clearly, like you could see 3, 4 Sixers in the winning lineup tonight, and I would not be surprised. Even on a big slate like this, a lot of these Sixers guys look like great plays. Do you have to play 4 or 3 Sixers? No, but I think it's very likely at least a couple are in the winning lineup. Why is everyone so undervalued on Yahoo tonight? Yeah, we discussed that, Raymond. I don't know what they did with the pricing, but just everyone's free on Yahoo for some reason. In your opinion, who's the best pay-up option, Giannis or Harden? I think I'd go with Harden between those two. Is Jalen Noel viable with no Beasley or Russell? I think he is, especially with McLaughlin out too. I think Jalen Noel is someone you can look to. He's going to be probably super low owned, but if you're needing a cheap option under 4K, I think Noel is viable for sure. Probably just DraftKings only. I don't think I'd be playing him on Yahoo. Oladipo and Zion or Brendan Ingram and Levine? Give me Brendan Ingram and Levine there. How do you feel about the Detroit-Sacramento lineup? Can we stack that game? I mean, I'm not stacking, like, I don't even like really any plays in Detroit. Or Detroit-Sacramento, they don't even play each other. But, like, there's nobody I really like on Detroit. Sacramento, there's not much I like on Sacramento either. In my opinion, the Sixers are a clear team to focus on. I think the Raptors have a couple guys that look really good as well. It's very likely I have at least like 2 Raptors and 2 Sixers in my lineup tonight. If not 3 Sixers, maybe 4. That's the way I'm going. You know, you guys can go the way you want, but that's just the way I'm approaching the slate. Would you play Noel instead of Howard? Noel is already getting big minutes. Yeah, he's been getting big minutes because Taj Gibson's been out. Taj Gibson has a chance to play tonight. He's questionable right now. If Taj Gibson plays, if he's active, I'd be a lot less interested in Noel because Gibson's going to take a good amount of minutes away from Noel. Like, Noel's probably going to play 30 minutes instead of 40 if Gibson's available to play. So I'd rather play Howard there, especially if Howard's starting. I'd rather play Howard over Noel. If Dwight starts, what's his ownership looking like? If he's announced starting, I'd assume he's going to be on DraftKings. He'll probably be, you know, it's not like he's going to be 70% owned. It's not like he's minimum salary, but probably 30%, 35% if I had to guess. If he's announced as a starter, that's my best guess on Dwight Howard's ownership on DK. He'll be higher owned on Yahoo because he's, for some reason, minimum salary over there. Any interest in all in Bridges or Sarge from Phoenix with Cam Johnson out? I mean, not really, Michael. Like, if I had to pick somebody from Phoenix to target, it'd probably be Jay Crowder. Like, I think I'd play Jay Crowder over Bridges and Sarge. I really just don't like much from Phoenix tonight. You know, Devin Booker's still questionable, so if he gets ruled out, that'll definitely change some things, but I'm assuming that Booker's going to play. Getting my haircut today, mullet or mohawk? Jesus. Neither, but I guess a mullet. Everyone all over Tobias Harris tonight. I mean, with no Ben Simmons, with no Joel Embiid, it's hard not to like Tobias Harris. You know, he's probably going to be popular, but I think for good reason. You know, on a big slate like this, he's not like a must play or anything, but I like Tobias Harris, and right now he's in my dummy lineup on both sites, so very good chance that I'm going to be playing him personally. You think Steven Adams will play 30-plus minutes having to match up with Cat? I mean, he could. Like, the minutes have been all over the place for Steven Adams. Again, like, I think I'd rather play Dwight Howard. I think Howard's just a better point-per-minute player. And if Howard is starting, give me him over Adams. But, yeah, Adams is fine. I don't mind him, you know, if you're looking for a cheaper center. You know how it feels to see score from 6,600 to 75? I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Pop killed me. Yeah. I feel you there. I mean, there's definitely been times where I've been, you know, at the top of a tournament, I check my phone and I'm winning, you know, a lot of money. And then at the end of the night, I check my phone and I'm barely cashing. I mean, those nights are terrible. They definitely hurt, but it is what it is, man. I try not to stare at my phone too much until the night's over with, because, you know, at the end of the night, or, you know, during the night when the games are going on, you know, you can check your winnings and stuff, but it really just comes down to what your winnings are at the end of the night. You know, it doesn't matter how much you're winning when the slate first starts or, you know, early on. It doesn't matter. Who do you project as the highest owned player on the slate? On DraftKings, I would say probably a Sixer, like maybe Tobias Harris, maybe like Dwight Howard, probably highest owned player. If I had to guess, it's going to be someone from the Sixers. If I had to guess, will be the highest owned player on the slate. You have interest in Boucher and Gallo. I do like Boucher. Gallo, I'm not as high on, but yeah, I definitely like Chris Boucher. Without Siakam, we saw Boucher get like 35 minutes off the bench last game. He could play 35 again. He could play 25, but Boucher is such a productive player, man. He doesn't need a ton of minutes to, be a good play. Like he could put up 40 fantasy points in 25 minutes. Like Boucher's that good of a point per minute player. So yeah, I do like Boucher. Best play 5,800. Let's take a look. At 5,800, it'd probably be like Robert Covington at 5,800. I don't mind, but it'd probably be honestly probably give me Elfrid Payton. With Derrick Rose out, I do like Elfrid Payton a good amount. 5,600. Last game with Derrick Rose out, we got 35 minutes from Elfrid Payton. He's played over 30 minutes in 3 straight games. Obviously he had a little bit of stretch where he was out then, but yeah, if we're gonna get 34, 35 minutes from Elfrid Payton, I do like him at 5,600. So I'd probably take him there, honestly, assuming you don't already have him. Press Achiuwa for value. I'm not there. He didn't start last game. He came off the bench. He only played like 16 minutes. I probably wouldn't play Press Achiuwa unless they start him, but I'm assuming they're going to start Kelly Olynyk at center again like they did last game. And Kelly Olynyk, I think, is a really, really good play. He's still too cheap in my opinion. What about Kevin Porter? He's going to get some run tonight on Yahoo's $10 a small forward. I mean, I have no idea how many minutes he plays. Like it's been so long since he's actually played in an NBA game. Like I don't think he's even played in an NBA game this whole season, if I'm not mistaken. Like when he was with the Cavs, I think he barely played. I don't think he played at all. I mean, he could play 20 minutes. He could play 10 minutes. He could not even play. There's so many, Christopher, there's so many underpriced guys on Yahoo. I don't see any reason to take a shot on Kevin Porter when there's so many other value plays on Yahoo. Everyone's too cheap there. I don't see any reason to play him. How about Kelly Olynyk with 5.1K with no Bam versus Orlando? I mean, yeah, Kelly Olynyk, if he starts at center again, he's a great play. Kyrie Irving over Harden revenge narrative. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Like, how many times has Kyrie faced the Celtics since he left the team? I mean, this is probably like the 8th time he's faced Boston. Is there really a revenge narrative at this point? I got a feeling Tobias Harris not going to be good tonight. Hey, Christopher, then don't play him, man. If you don't think he's going to do well, then don't play him. Loving the knowledge, Noah. Keep it up, brother. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Murray last night cost me $3K. Thank God I made a little $100. Dejounte Murray, yeah, I think he was pretty bad last night. DeRozan was the big surprise. I mean, DeRozan smashed last night. Like at his price point, I wasn't really even considering DeRozan, especially with Murray back. Like, I just don't know. I didn't really want to pay $8K for DeRozan, and he went off last night for sure. Is Boucher worth it on Yahoo? $19, but I'm not sure because I already have Lowry and Powell. I'll be honest, I'd be fine playing Lowry, Powell, and Boucher. I don't see any reason why you can't do that. I mean, we saw last game, like, Lowry put up almost 50 fantasy points. Powell had like 40. Boucher had like 35. I mean, that could easily happen again. I'm fine playing all 3 of those guys. I don't mind it at all. If I win even $100 tonight, I'm gonna super chat you next few times you go live. Hey, Abby, you don't have to do that, but hey, if you win, that's awesome. But you don't have to super chat. It's just there for people that want to. But I hope you do win, Abby. Hope to see you have some success. Thoughts on Rubio and Edwards? Yeah, I think Rubio is interesting with McLaughlin out. I think Rubio maybe gets a few more minutes. I wish he was cheaper, but he's going to be super low owned, I'd guess. So, yeah, Rubio's viable. Edwards I'm fine with as well, especially because he is a small forward, and small forward is just always a tough position to fill. Like Norman Powell and Edwards, I think, are 2 of the better small forward options when you factor in price. So, yeah, I do like Edwards. Best util, 3.8K and under. I mean, Alex, there really isn't much down there that I like. Like, there's not a ton of great punt value tonight. Maybe we could get some punt value from the Sixers depending on who starts. Like, if Mike Scott starts at center again, then you could play him. If Korkmaz starts, you could play him. So it'd probably be a Sixer, Korkmaz or Scott, if one of them is starting. Bembry or Bogdanovich for last guy in. If Terrence Davis is out, give me Bembry. Bogdanovich, I just haven't been really interested in. I know he just came back from injury. I don't think his minutes have been that high. Obviously, he had the All-Star break to rest up. Played 16 minutes and 20 minutes his first 2 games back. Yeah, I think I'd take Bembry there, especially if Terrence Davis is out. I feel like Bembry, would be very likely to get a few more minutes if Davis were to sit. Davis did play like a ton last game. He played like over 30 minutes. I thought I loved me some NBA. How in the hell do you have a life and still tell us all this info? Crazy. I'll be honest, Abby, I've been playing, DFS for almost 5 years now, so it's just become, part of my routine, I guess. Like for the first couple of years, I guess I wasn't as informative. I don't want to say I wasn't informative, but I wasn't as, well known, I should say. Like, I didn't know as much then, I guess. I've always been a sports fan, but in terms of like DFS and, making lineups, who the top plays are, like, you kind of get an understanding of that as you play throughout the years. So, I've been playing I started playing in 2015, so I've been playing, almost 5-6 years now. Is Bogdan for Atlanta sneaky? I have a feeling. I don't think he's going to be popular at all. Bogdan will probably be less than like 5% owned. He should be really low owned. John Wall played 35-plus minutes lately and fresh off the break. Yeah, they've been giving him a ton of minutes because they've been so thin. Like last game against Brooklyn, Houston only had eight bodies. But they have more guys now. They have Kevin Porter that they signed or they called up. They signed someone else too. Like they have a lot more bodies now. I don't think John Wall's going to play like 40 minutes like he has been. He'll probably still get 34, 35 minutes. I think there's other point guards I'd rather play over John Wall. Like give me Kyle Lowry over John Wall. But yeah, it's a good matchup against Sacramento. Wall definitely has upside. But overall, I think there's other point guards I'd probably rather play. Lowry, Noel, Powell, Olynyk, Howard, Harris, Shake, and Boucher. For now, Jenna, that looks pretty solid. At least for now. NBA is definitely the most hands-on DFS lineups. Can change people, can just randomly be out. It's crazy. Yeah, if you're not at your computer or checking your phone for news, like even 5-10 minutes before lock, you're gonna get killed in NBA. Like NBA is such a news heavy sport. Like there's some like PGA, even MLB. Like once lineups come out, MLB you can kind of set it and forget it. PGA you can make your lineups early on in the week and just make sure nobody withdraws by Thursday. Like NBA, the lineup that you have ready to play at 6:30 could be totally different from the lineup you actually play. Like NBA is just another animal for sure. I think that's what makes it fun too. It's just the slate can totally change just like that. That's what makes NBA fun in my opinion. I feel like I'm one of those people. I'm always at my computer ready to make changes, so I feel like that does give me advantage over people who maybe aren't. For example, like people last night, not swapping off on LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm sure Aldridge, some people still played Aldridge last night, even though he was announced out like an hour before the game started. Pay up for Harden and Giannis, so I have Howard and Boucher, but had to take one 3K guy. Yeah, it depends on who that is. Like, there really isn't much value down there, but we could get maybe some cheap value from the Sixers, depending on what their starting lineup is. So you could make that work, I guess. You think in this slate I can fade the big spend-ups and play 9K players that are in better position? Yeah, right now on DraftKings, I don't have any of the like 10K and above guys in my DK lineup. Obviously things could change from now to a lock, but I don't think I'm going to get to any of the big spend-ups on DK. Yahoo, it's just totally different because the pricing is so soft over there. But yeah, DK, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to anyone above 10K tonight in my one lineup. At least not right now. Unless some value opens up, then maybe, but we'll have to see. The other day when Paul George was out almost right at lock, I was lucky enough to get him out of my lineup. Yeah, that was crazy. There was nothing you could do then. You literally had like 20 seconds to swap. Like Paul George was announced out at like 6:59, like 6:59 and 30 seconds. You had like 30 seconds to get him out. Luckily, I didn't play Paul George that night. Even if I would have played him, though, I would have been screwed because I did not get that news, or I did not see that till like 7:01. I mean, I thought we were good to go. It was 6:59. I was pretty much like, okay, we're good to go. And then I come back and see Paul George got ruled out. Crazy, man. That was just a crazy slate. Freaking right before the All-Star break, and we get a slate like that where a dude gets ruled out 30 minutes or 30 seconds before the game starts. A big player too. It wasn't just some random guy. It was Paul George. For dizziness as well. I mean, just how do you get ruled out for dizziness 30 seconds before a game starts? I don't understand that. Like, the injury reporting has just been so bad this year. Feels like any night you could have a player get ruled out 10 seconds before the game starts, and you'll never know. Like, it's just so annoying. Same thing with, like, golf lately. Like, in golf, there's been a lot of guys just withdrawing just out of nowhere. Like, in the golf tournament today, I think there was 3 guys that withdrawed. Just, randomly. Luka, Curry, or Dame, if you had to pick one for tiers, give me Luka there if I had to pick one. Is Noel your favorite below 4K? Probably, Michael. It depends on who starts for the Sixers. Like, if Mike Scott starts at center, then he'd probably be my favorite guy below 4K. But, yeah, if they run out Howard in the starting lineup and they start someone, if they don't start like anyone else that I want to go to, then, yeah, I think it would be Noel. But there's not much value down there right now. A lot of the good plays, I think, today are in the, like, from 5K to 9K. That's where a lot of the good plays are today. Not much punt value right now. You play any best ball tournaments? I was going to get into them because there was so much overlay, but I didn't. I kind of hate that I didn't because the overlay was crazy. But, yeah, I didn't play any best ball. I should have, man. That was definitely a mistake on my part. Any thoughts on Claxton? I really haven't been playing Claxton recently. I know he's been putting up, good games off the bench, but like, he's going to play probably 18 to 20 minutes. You need him to be really productive in that time. Like, I just don't think I'd want to go there. I don't see any reason to play Claxton on a big slate like this. Maybe a 2-gamer, but not on this slate. Not with 11 games. So many other options. What's the Twitter page with NBA updates? I follow Fantasy Labs NBA. That's who a lot of people follow. So, at Fantasy Labs NBA, they tweet out starting lineups. They tweet out whenever guys get ruled out. They're pretty quick with it too. So, that's the account that I follow. Is Seth Curry playable? Yeah, I like Seth Curry quite a bit. Without Ben Simmons, I'm assuming they start Seth Curry at point guard, and that's definitely a bump for him. So, yeah, I do like Seth Curry. You talk about Olynyk yet on Yahoo? I mean, Olynyk's a great play. I don't think I really need to tell you that, T-Bone. Last game, he started at center, had a huge game without Bam. Bam's out once again. I assume Olynyk starts at center again. Olynyk's always been productive when he's a center, when he gets center minutes. So, not playing alongside Bam is huge for Olynyk, and yeah, he's a really good value. One of the best values on the slate, in my opinion. Robert Williams seems like they're giving him more run and a good matchup. I mean, yeah, but he's not like that cheap. I mean, last time Robert Williams was like 4,700 last slate, and today he is 4,800. Like, I mean, even if he gets 22 minutes, like, you still need Robert Williams to be really productive and put up like 30 fantasy points. It would be different if Robert Williams was minimum salary. Then you could definitely go there. But 4,800, I mean, that's like, I don't see any reason to play Robert Williams at 4,800. Only way I would play Robert Williams at this price tag were to be if like Thompson or Tice were to get ruled out. Then I would definitely have interest in Robert Williams at 4,800. But with Tice and Thompson both healthy, I mean, Williams, in my opinion, is just too expensive. Even in a good matchup, I don't think it makes much sense to pay nearly 5K for him when he's like their third string center. Is Sterling Brown viable with no House or Nwaba? I don't think I'd go there on this slate. There's just so many other plays I think I'd rather go to, especially now that they have Kevin Porter. Houston signed some guys. They have more bodies available now. Like, I just don't think Sterling Brown's someone I'm looking to. Is Plumlee still too cheap? I mean, it's a good matchup, so I mean, yeah, like you could go there, but there's so many other centers I like. Like, I think I'd rather play Boucher over Plumlee. I just don't think Plumlee's someone I'm going to be looking to. He's fine as like a last guy in, but for me, I think I'd rather play Boucher at a similar price range. I think I'd rather go cheaper with guys like Dwight Howard, assuming he's starting. There's other centers I think I'd rather play over Plumlee. Hey, Noah, good to see you back. Hope you had a great vacay. What do you think about this lineup? Milton, Bledsoe, Grant, Crowder, Olynyk, Hardaway, Harrison, Lowry. I mean, that's solid for now, Ross. Hardaway, like on this slate, I'm not really on Hardaway, but if it makes your lineup work, I guess that's fine. The rest looks decent, though. Thank you for all your advice and keeping it real. Got to go eat with the wife. Have a good day, bro. Hey, have a good day, JM. Appreciate you being here, man. Good luck tonight. How you feel about Noel? 3.9K with Rubio, only healthy point guard for Minnesota. Yeah, I mean now that Jordan McLaughlin's out, he's viable. He probably gets like 24, 25 minutes, 3,900. You can definitely go there. Like I said earlier, I think under 4K, there really isn't much down there that I like. He'd be one of the guys I'd look to though. Oh, this dude's just spamming stupid shit. If Booker's out, who do you think benefits the most? Definitely Chris Paul. I mean, Chris Paul's the clear beneficiary if Booker's out, without a doubt. I mean, there was a couple games this season where Booker was out, and we got, big games from Chris Paul. So, yeah, if Booker gets ruled out, Chris Paul becomes one of the best plays on the slate, I think, without question. What do you think about Josh Hart? I don't really play Josh Hart. I don't think I've played. Only time I played Josh Hart this year was last slate when Zion was out and Josh Hart started. That's the only time I've played Josh Hart this entire season. When the team's fully healthy, he's just not someone I really play. He's not that cheap either. I mean, he's almost 5K, I think. Or I think he is 5K actually. Yeah, he's 5K. I just don't play Josh Hart at 5K when the team's fully healthy. It would be different if Ingram were out or Zion were out again, but yeah, not today. Who you like more for 5,600, Payton or Bledsoe? Give me Elfrid Payton, especially with Rose out. I think Payton's going to get the minutes, and he's a productive player when he does get minutes. Thank you, Noah. Any interest in Ayton? I'm having trouble with center today. Yeah, for example, I think I'd rather have Ayton over Plumlee. I think in terms of the center position, if I'm paying up, Towns is probably my favorite option at the top. In the mid-range, I like Ayton, I like Boucher, and then, a little bit cheaper, if Dwight Howard starts, he's probably my favorite center overall. Those four guys are the guys I'm looking to at center today. Lowry and Powell are must-plays. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but, they're top options in my opinion. They're two of the better plays on the slate. Nobody's a must-play in NBA DFS. We've seen just random shit can happen. Guys can get injured. Nobody is ever a must, ever a lock to do well. But clearly, without Siakam, without Van Vliet, the opportunity is there right now for Lowry and Powell. Looking for a forward for 6K or less. First guy that comes to mind would probably be Robert Covington. Yeah, I'd probably take Robert Covington there for 6K or less at forward. Best Yahoo util, $16 or under. Already have Curry and Kelly Olynyk. Let me take a look. I think Elfrid Payton is $14, so it'd probably be him, but I'll just confirm that. Yeah, I'd probably take Elfrid Payton there. $14. Give me Elfrid Payton. Noel, Bogdanovich, or Korkmaz. I'd probably take Noel there between those three. Even if Korkmaz starts, I think I'd probably rather have Noel over him. It'd be between Noel or Korkmaz, though. I think I'd have Noel. Any love for Danny Green or Seth Curry? Seth Curry I like. Danny Green, I never played Danny Green. I mean, he's not like he's that cheap either. He's $4,700. It's not like he's $3,500. If Danny Green was $3,500, I think it'd be different. But $4,700, no interest in Danny Green for me. Seth Curry, though, I do like quite a bit. Curry, Milton, Tobias Harris, Howard, if he starts. Those are my four favorite plays from the Sixers. Olynyk or Dwight? If I can only play one, I'd rather have Kelly Olynyk, but I think both are great plays tonight. Assuming Howard starts and assuming Olynyk starts at center again, I think both are great plays. But if I can only choose one, I think I'd go Olynyk. Vucevic, the smash play tonight, looking for that true slate smasher. I don't think I'm really going to Vooch on this slate. Aaron Gordon is questionable. He can maybe return. They did, or Terrence Ross is questionable now for Orlando, so there's definitely some injuries to watch on Orlando. Terrence Ross is questionable. Aaron Gordon is questionable. Evan Fournier's already been ruled out. If we do get a scenario where Gordon's out and Ross is out, I mean, yeah, then Vooch becomes very appealing. Even in a tougher matchup, I would say it's not that bad of a matchup because Bam's not playing. But yeah, if we get word that Aaron Gordon and Ross are both out, I'd like Vooch a good amount. But if Aaron Gordon and Ross both play, I don't know if I'd want to go to Vooch on this slate. I'd rather have Towns for cheaper, I think, in that case. Thanks, Noah. Off to my NFL sim. Thank you for your knowledge. Sure thing, Abby. Thank you for being here. Still looking for Lyles. Nowhere last night. I mean, yeah. If you played Lyles last night, you kind of got burned. I don't want to say it wasn't predictable, but I felt like once Lyles was announced as he wasn't starting, with Keldon Johnson back, with Rudy Gay back, there was a very good chance his minutes would be cut pretty drastically, and obviously that was the case. Utility for 4,900 or under. Let's see. If DeLon Wright is still out again, I'd probably take Dennis Smith Jr. there. DeLon Wright's questionable, so that'll be something to monitor. If he's out, then Dennis Smith Jr. you could play at 4,900. He'd probably be the guy that I would take there. Next guy I would look to would probably be like Jay Crowder. But I'd take Dennis Smith Jr. if DeLon Wright's out for 4,900 U2. Here we go again. Danny Green smashing tonight. I mean, yeah. Anytime I shit on Danny, I think last time I shit on Danny Green, he had like a career night. So you guys can play Danny Green. I'm not doing it though. I just can't do it, man. I just can't watch. I can't put Danny Green in my lineup, turn on the Sixers game, and then just watch him stand in the corner for 30 minutes. It's just gonna tilt me to no end. So I'd rather just not play him. Why is Vooch so cheap? He should be like 11.5K. I don't think Vooch should be that expensive. I mean, he's been playing well recently. I think he has. I haven't really been playing Vooch recently, but these last few games, I mean, yeah, 56, 62 DK points, but, I'd rather have, like, Harden. I'd rather have Giannis over Vooch. I mean, Harden and Giannis are just, they're locks to give you 50-plus almost every night at this point, whereas Vooch can obviously do that as well, but I'm not really interested. The only way I'm going to have interest in Vooch is if we do get word that Aaron Gordon and Terrence Ross are both out. Then I would like Vooch a good amount. Aminu for value? Probably not. Especially if Aaron Gordon plays. I don't see any reason to go to Aminu. Will Blake Griffin trade to Nets have any fantasy impact going forward? I mean, it definitely could. It's probably going to hurt, like DeAndre Jordan. It's probably going to hurt Jeff Green. Those are going to be the two guys I would think that take the biggest hit. But, right now Blake Griffin's not ready to play, so we don't have to worry about that tonight, at least. But I think those are probably going to be the two guys that, get hit hard the most in terms of minutes and just, minutes mainly. They said they're going to bring Blake Griffin off the bench. I'm surprised by that. I thought he'd be like their starting center, but they said they're going to bring him off the bench. McGruder's going to break the slate tonight. McGruder. What has he even been doing recently? I don't even know because I never played Rodney McGruder. But he's a fan favorite since that dude, I don't know who it was, asked a question about him. He did have 37 fantasy points in 26 minutes against Toronto. That's kind of surprising. I mean, yeah, play Rodney McGruder if you want. I don't think I would do that, though. I would not recommend that. Who's your favorite stud and value for GPPs? I mean, favorite stud's probably Harden if you can get to him. In terms of value, there's not much like cheap value tonight, like 4K and below, but in the 5K range, there's a lot of good plays. Seth Curry, Shake Milton, Olynyk, Dwight Howard if he starts. Those are the kind of the guys I'm looking to for, quote-unquote value, those four guys. How you feel about Stanley Johnson at 3.5K? If Terrence Davis gets ruled out, I think Stanley Johnson becomes a lot more viable. But if Terrence Davis plays, I don't think I really want to go to Stanley Johnson. How many minutes did he get last game? I know Terrence Davis played a ton off the bench last game. Stanley Johnson also got good minutes, 36 minutes. I mean, he started Thursday's game, but did he start the game before that? I can't remember if he started against Detroit. But I think he did start he started both games. He played 18 minutes against Detroit, then he played 36 minutes the game after that. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with his minutes, but if Terrence Davis were to be out, that would be one less body in the rotation. So, yeah, Johnson would become viable at 3,500. You like Layman for value? I mean, Layman's not someone I've really considered. I've heard other people talk about him. I mean, last 2 games he has gotten pretty good minutes, 30 and 26 minutes. I mean, in a good matchup against New Orleans, I mean, 3,300 for Layman, if he's going to play around 30 minutes, he's definitely viable. I don't really have any confidence in that, though. Like, why has he been getting minutes? I guess Hernangomez has been out, but I really haven't even been looking at Layman. Or they just haven't been playing Hernangomez, I guess. Like, has Layman even been starting? I'm guessing he's been starting. I mean, I haven't even been playing him. Okay, he did start Wednesday's game against Charlotte. So, yeah, he started and played 26 minutes last game. I guess if he starts again, 3,300, he's not the worst punt play. Just know the upside on Jake Layman is, minimal. But he's fine if you're looking for a punt option, I guess. I'm on lunch break. Let's get it today. You like Davis from the Raptors if he plays? Yeah, if he plays, I think Terrence Davis is definitely viable. He got a ton of minutes off the bench last game. They've been so up and down. Like, with these bench guys from the Raptors, like, we know Norman Powell's getting big minutes. We know Kyle Lowry's getting big minutes. We know Boucher is going to play a good amount. But really, after those 3 guys, I mean, you don't know where the minutes are going to go. But Davis is someone that, has upside if he does get minutes. So I'd be fine taking a shot on him if he's, good to go. Any love for Draymond Green? Yeah, I think Draymond Green's in play for me. He's not like a top option or anything. There really are no there's no top plays from Golden State in my opinion. But if I had to play anyone on the Warriors today, I think it would be Draymond Green. You could throw him into the center, those centers I talked about that I liked. You could probably throw Draymond in there with those guys. With Dwight Howard, Boucher, Cat, those other guys I talked about. Draymond's definitely, someone you could look to at center. We've seen the upside for Draymond. When he's getting 35, 36 minutes a night like he has been recently in close games, he's got 45, 50-point upside, triple-double upside any night. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream around here about 4:45. We've been live for about 45 minutes. I basically answered all the questions that has been asked, so I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Best of luck tonight, as always. We should be live once again tomorrow night. I think lock is a little bit later tomorrow night. I think lock's at 8 o'clock Eastern. So we might go live a little bit later tomorrow night, but best of luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you watching. Hit that like button before you do get out of here. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. And yeah, good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get it, baby. Good luck, fellas.